Right, 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll give it a few 10 seconds just to kick in. Make sure it's kicked in. Right, here we go. 10. Right, guys and girls, welcome back. It is Tuesday, the 13th of July, 2021 at the time of the video. It's 5:16 at the moment. So we're going to go and do a bit of a tutorial video on duplicating an item or an object that you want to use, because maybe you want to try and do a fence that I'm trying to do at the moment. I'm trying to do a fence, doing a bit of building, and at the moment I'm using an app for my foundation. It's called Sweet Home 3D, and I'm using it basically to create a house, buildings, whatever, but it's the easiest way to do it. Easy way to do a flooring, and then basically I can actually copy it to an OBJ file, which is basically a file that you can use within Unity programs itself. So here's, right, so if we go, so let me take off my video capture and we'll put display capture on. Now here we go, this is what you're going to see is basically that. Now you should be able to see this on here. Now on the left hand side we've got the hierarchy. This is where all your items are listed in here. At the top is, this is the left hand corner. Then you've got basically hang on. So, okay, so click on here. So you've got all your bits and bobs, your assets. Your assets are where you can import your assets or import packages from an asset, and then you can bring them into here and use within the sort of the app itself. This is Unity. This is the 2020.3.9. This is like the newest one, which I can use on Outspace, which I use a lot because I haven't built anything in such a while. But we're just doing a little bit of a tutorial video. This is for a project that I've been doing. Also, I've actually made this last night using, I forgot what it's called now. It's on Oculus. And I'll tell you what it's called. Give me 2 seconds. This is an amazing app. I'm always using it all the time, and I just actually totally forgot what it's called. A Gravity Sketch. Now I use Gravity Sketch, which I use a lot of times in well, not Outspace. This is the first time I've actually made something within Gravity Sketch like this. So basically, what this is here under here is like just a pattern. I put this pattern on here. I found this off Google, and then turn that into a material. So my materials, basically, my materials here. So you create, if you want to create a material, so you go basically, I'm just going to give you a quick like tutorial video on material wise, how to make a quick material as well. So, and whilst I'll show you how to duplicate an item, so you can have more than one item in the Unity program as best as way as can. This is to simplify it, or simplify the whole aspect of the thing. So what you want to do is you want to, because I'm using this on Mac, so you might be using this on Windows. It's exactly the same way. I've got my what's it called, Razer Death Adder Essential mouse sort of sorted out on here, so I can use it on my iMac, which I'm using right now. It's a lot easier than the Magic Keyboard too. So what we've got to do, right, so we've got all your materials. This is all your materials, like your sky textures, your sky boxes, your material for the floor. So you could have painted pictures, you could have that on the floor, or you could have different flooring. I've actually just kept the textures from a material that I used. So this grass foliage, which I used, is actually off Sweet Home 3D. So I'm using that as well. And Sweet Home 3D, I believe, is free, but there's a paid version. I've got the paid version, so I can actually download as much stuff on it as I wanted to and create whatever I want to in that app. Actually, this is, just give you a simplify of this as well. So this is called Sweet Home 3D. Basically, you could build your whole house in this. It's just to simplify it. So I'll bring that quickly up. So basically, if you want to build a foundation, you go create walls. Actually, no, it's not walls. No, create walls. Actually, no, rooms. I mean, not that one. Actually, so click out here. Where is it? It's called create rooms. So if you want a room, the first thing you do for a room is to create a foundation. So basically, you've got this whole map. You can actually go open like that or close it, and you can make it even longer, shorter, smaller. You can have it wider, so you can have it to there. So I've got a big scale. So if you want a big house and you want as much room scale as you can, so you click on there on the map. Then it basically turns that into the floor. So it can go like that, and then go to that, and then basically what you've got here is your foundation, this little white platform. Now you can change the colour of the thing, so you double click that in the middle of the top, display, textures. So if you want a floor, let's have a look at floor. I use the textures of the grass. There's different textures of grass. You could do grass, darker grass. So if I click on this one here, I should have gone for the darker grass, to be honest. Made it really dark. Now you've got a nice foundation to work with, a garden. But do keep in mind though, guys and girls, that whatever you build in here is 10 times bigger than what you need it to be. So say if I wanted an abandoned or abdominal thing to go out in the garden, so you click on that. So I'll put that little bench there, or workbench, abdominal, abdominal, I mean, bench. So you can click over there, and you've got it. Basically, you've got it now over here. And you've got that there, so that's right in the garden. That's actually really low as you can go. A lot of the stuff is high quality in this, so you've got to be careful as well, because if you want to build a house, so let's say we want to build a quick, let's delete this one a minute. Hang on, so click on there. Oh, there we go, so I've got that. Now what I need to do is quickly build another foundation, because we've got the, so you can build a foundation upon a foundation. So how this works is, now we want to basically make a small house, so we could do it by 1000 centimeters by 1000 centimeters. And then we can put that one just there, and just there. And then what we can do, we can shape this into any shape we want. So now we've got the foundation, we can put the walls in. So put the walls in, so we go on like that, on, and we can put that just there. And then we can have another wall going across there, and we can have like a unique wall, so we can have like maybe a weird sort of house building. Now we've got this little 3D box, or which we can move around, and we could also paint it. So if we wanted to click on there, right, so what we need to do for outside the walls textures, we need some, say Actually, because we're doing floor first, actually, floor. Actually, we'll do quickly go on here. So I've got the floor, so we need a floor colour, so we can have like floor, nice dark blue. So we've got a nice dark blue to go for the floor. Might be not everybody's cup of tea, but we're just showing you. So we've got a nice blue carpet on the floor there. We could divide that up if we wanted to, and maybe have half the carpet and half that one, but you'd have to basically do separate parts for that. But then what you can do is, once you finish a product or your thing, so what you do then is you go to 3D view, and then you'll go to export to OBJ file. Once you've done that, you've titled it, you put it to wherever you want it to go on it. That fountain thing there, that was the product I actually put in. So let me just close this a sec. Save, no, don't want to save that. Right, so this is supposed to be a fountain really, and I want to get some water to come out of there at some point, because basically what that was beforehand, I'll show you the size on it. When you import this straight away, this whole little thing, this is the size on it. Look at the size on that. Look at that. Oh. Alright, there we go. So we got that there. This is absolutely astronomical. Look at the size on that. So this was empty until I put the material on. Now, the material itself is what it is. That's the material. Well, not material. That's, we're going to put the material on, so you can go like that. You get the materials there. You can put that on, and you can you can put that on the top of it, and that is all you do to the material. But let me just delete this entire fountain because we don't need that one. Right. So let's go back to our actually quicker way of getting there. Alright, so back there now. Right, so now what I need to do is to show you how you actually can create material, but also how to do, actually where is it, sorry, how to duplicate. Now this is, I wasn't going to do this as a long video, but because I'm sort of doing different parts, and obviously you need a lot of parts in here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold this down on that whole lot of fences. Now I need to duplicate that because I need that to go all the way down to the bottom, and I need to get to go around, but I need it to be less time consuming. So if you want it to be less time consuming, it's in the right place, so I don't need to move it with these little arrows to move up and down, left, right, or whatever. It's in the right, exact right place. So now what you need to do is duplicate. So once you've highlighted all of these here, then what you're going to need to do is to right click on this and go duplicate. Now it's duplicated it, but you'll be saying, well, where has it all gone? Well, it's actually still inside this little thing here. So what you need to do is slowly move this to the side like that, and voila, we've duplicated the entire box, and we've done it in half the time. I was wondering the other day, because I was putting it all down single, and I thought to myself in Unity, how can I lessen down the time but put more fencing down, but make it it's less time consuming? So what you do is do it again. So we go there, duplicate. Now it's duplicated it again. I don't need to move up or back towards me. All I need to do is just to move it in over slightly and overlap it a little bit, so that way it's all within the time or less time. And now what I need to do is duplicate that once again until I get it all the way down the bottom, or to as much as possible. Now, as you can see, if we go forward here a little bit, now once we move it slow, can I move this out of the way? Slowly, right, so what I like to try and do is overlap it slightly, so it looks authentic, it looks like it's within touching, but not too much. So, right, so now that should be, yeah, that should be perfect, because at least it doesn't look like it's out of place. Now, I've been doing sort of this for the last, I say 5 months. I've been doing Unity and all that. I've never done it before. I've never worked on Unity before. It's quite fun though. I've learned a lot, especially about different things. So that there, overlapping, and also about baking. You can actually learn a lot about baking. Now, I don't mean cooking food. I'm on about computer baking, light baking, how to bake lights so they look actually natural and that you can walk into it and your characters will actually look absolutely phenomenal. Now, what I need to do now is, because I need to make sure I don't duplicate it too much now, because I've got basically a few here. So if I highlight this, just this few, that should be theoretically enough to duplicate that, and put that just slightly there, and then I need a couple more, just a couple more. So I'd say 1, 2, about 4 maybe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's duplicate this, and we can slightly go over the edge, and yeah, we're technically 3, but it doesn't matter, because what we need to do now is make sure it's not on the edge, because you see that, look at that, plenty of room, just like even just a square, just a little teeny tab on there. Look at that, beautiful, nice little line that goes all the way along. It's nothing too much major on it, but also we need to make sure that this is not touching too much, and there we go, and that should be it. So this is a whole fence I've done within the pace of 3-4 minutes. So 3-4 minute work on a fence of doing a small fence. Now this is brilliant, I love it. So there we go, nice iron gate sort of fence, and this will go into oat space when it's finished and done. A little bit of work and all that, but it's just the way I'm the reason why I want to basically show you guys and girls how to use Unity and how to work it is because it's fun. It educates as well, and I want to educate people in Unity, especially 2020.3.9 F1, which is a personal account sort of thing. So basically I'm doing it for myself. This is what a personal account is when you're doing it for yourself and you're not doing it for a company. I would love to work with some companies at some point, maybe Unity themselves, maybe learn more off them as well. That would be quite awesome. But the grass, look at the grass. Oh no, that looks awesome. I wish I could have gone a bit darker. I can go a bit darker if I want to, but I'm going to have to bake it all in the lights and stuff. So basically it's much darker. Actually, if I go to, let's have a look. So if I go to directional light, and then go to, let's say, where's my directional light? So my directional light's over there. So what I want to do is I want to rotate, but because the direction time is in real time, it's basically not going to make it darker. So that will go dark there, but in outer space it won't. You have to bake in, so you have to basically go to baked, and then And then once you bake the lights in and all of that, you have to go to rendering and then lighting. Now all the settings here, I think, are all set properly anyway. So for the environment, and just baking, but I have to basically select whatever I want to bake in there. I have to set it as a static. So if I wanted sort of the floor to be static and then go straight there, I could do that just like that, like so, and then I could just go to rendering lighting. Now if I want to go to, where is it, if I can find it, now it's not highlighted for some reason. Actually I might have to put that down. I might have to bake the, actually I might have to bake the floor in. Right, so basically, so yeah, I have to bake it in as a baked lighting, and then I have to go to static, make sure that's selected, rendering lighting, and I'm just trying to environment. Yeah, so environment. So then you go to environment, and then I have to go to real-time shadows. So need sort of, actually, so if I go, not skybox, oh, there we go, textures, skybox, gradient color. So yeah, there we go, so gradient color. So now I can change the light patterns, and then non-lights. I think that non-light has to stay there. Skybox, nebula. Alright, so that's what I've got it on. I think there needs to be a color gradient, so hang on. Right, now for some reason it's not allowing me to, oh, I don't know, I think I know, because then I have to go to directional lights, and then I have to make it bloody darker or something. Then I have to make it dark, and then all pitch black, depending on the lights, and then I can basically bake that in, so it's not too dark but not too light either. And once this is done, so give me a second, rendering lighting, environment. So once that's all set in, gradients. So basically I want that not to change colour, and just stay the same, and then we should be able, skybox resolution 128, generate lighting. Right, depending on the area of the global illumination of how much the light is illuminating, it can take up to 20 minutes or 6 minutes, 5 minutes, just to bake in the light. So this one's going to take 2 minutes, So this ain't going to take too long, but it gives you like an insight into it, guys and girls. So look at that, look how fast this is. This is working on my iMac. Now, the more that you put in there for lighting or environmental settings of how much light you are wanting to make the area darker, lighter, or whatever you want to put in, you have to basically do it as a static. And once you've done it as a static light, actually I think I have to do the lighting, directional light as a static as well. All I've done at the moment is done for the ground to be static. So actually this needs to really be done for it. But so what I need to do at the moment is got to actually, so this one should be done now, generate 5.3 megs. Now once the foundation, the floor's done, so as soon as I've done that, you take off the static and you should have a much darker green floor to work with. But mind you, everything you put in as a static, you have to do the environment or thing. So if I want to put in, I don't know, let's put in a model of a whatever you want to put in. I don't replace. So that one, those will have light on them. That have a little bit of light in, or it just makes it darker. Depending on what you want to put in, really. Actually, I mean these trees are dark anyway because of the light you put in, so it should be fine. Like, so if I want to sort of, I don't know, what's this one? Fence door. So if I wanted a coffin, does that actually go darker as well? Yeah, so that goes dark as well, but it's not too dark. Just have a look. What about that one? Oh, so that one's a bit too bright. What about this one? So that one's a bit dark. That one's slightly dark. That one's slightly dark. Yeah, so some of them do end up darking a little bit, the areas, due to the amount of light, depending on where the light is really actually in the area. That one seems a bit too bright though, so I might have to put that as a static and then just put it down a little bit on the lighting. So you could do exactly the same. So if I wanted to, so if I wanted to put a couple of these graves down, just put these there. Right, so say if I want to put that down, gravestones, gravestones, gravestones. Oh, so they're all actually static then. All of these are actually static. Okay, so what about the fences? Yeah, so they seem to be static, all of them. So, what about the rooms? Room? Oh no, that's the floor. Okay. So I'm still learning, even though, like, I don't know, so that one's not on static. So everything else that is actually static needs to be not static. So basically everything needs to be turned off. So if I go on, then go straight down, to the bottom. Right, flags, do you want to enable the static flags for all child? Yes. So then what we need to do is take all that, yes, change to yes, change, right. So now we should be able to take all that off. Directional light should be static off, that should be off, that should be off, that should be off, and that environment. So yeah, so that's all of it. So these graves then, they're in the perfect position because of it being dark and all that. And also if you want to change the direction on it, so I'll go 90 degree, and I want to put that one on a 90 degree as well, and also this one on a 90 degree. You've got a nice like sort of darkness to it. So, and with the skin, you could put some skeletons there, do a fence and all that. I mean, it's going to look amazing, whatever it is. But yeah, anyway, so my final bit of teaching for today, which I'm doing, is how to create a material, because that's what I was going to tell you, how to do a material. So what you'll want to do is right click and go straight up to the right. So right click on your mouse and then go straight to create at the top. Then go to material, right halfway down the bottom, I'd say in the middle, and click on that. Now what you'll have is you'll have a material here, a little blue thing with a blue circle and a little like almost moon shaped style thing. That means it's empty, there's nothing in it. So we'll go AKB material, right? So we'll go AKB material. Then what we're doing now, because it's grey now, so we've actually greyed it out because there's nothing in it, it's empty, it's white. You could change that albedo to it, so you can have different colours if you want, or if you want to change it and put a pattern on it like I did with the new material here, all you have to do is go to shader. The shader's at the top because you're putting a shader on it. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to use Unilit or Unilight. So you click on Unilight from that shader and go to textures. Once you've got the textures, you've got no textures in there, there's nothing in there, it's empty. So if you want to click on that, next minute you'll want to, actually, I mean theoretically you could put, I'd say, can you put that on there? No, you can't put that on there, it's only thing. But if you've got a picture, you want this picture here, say of the flowers, you click that, hold it, drag it into it, drag that over. Now look at that, I've got two there, I've got AKB material, and I've got the material I started with. Now it's created the material. Now what do you do with this material? Say if we want to let's bring in a block, a cube, right? We've got a little tiny cube there, nothing much there, nothing too major, but you want to basically add material to it. So you hold it, drag it over, and there we go. You've got a cube with a material attached to it. Now you can basically, one last thing, you can actually turn this into a solid object with a box collider, or you could take it off, remove component, and you don't have to have a collider. A collider basically means you can bump into it and smack into it and all that, and like you won't pass through it. It'll be a solid object. That is what you need, is a solid object. Now, what I'm standing on at the moment, that actually, if I click on there, it's actually got a mesh collider. Now, mesh colliders are what I'm standing on now, or not standing on, but moving on. You can, in the game, in Oat Space, you can stand up onto that. You can actually stand on it instead of going through. Now, if I took off the mesh collider, I would fall right through it. I would need something solid to stand on, a foundation to stand on. So most video games characters, when they're on a stage, they have a mesh collider or a cube collider or whatever collider you want to put on it. So basically, how you do that, so we'll go there. Actually, we'll move this a second and we'll show you. Right, so now we've got no colliders on it. It says a mesh renderer, which renders the mesh of the material, but which is this is a material. This is actually the material on here. The grass is the material, which I've got it on there. But for me to basically have that so I can stand on it, I need to make it into a mesh collider or a collider in itself. Let's have a look. Collider. So we've got a box collider. We've got different colliders on it. Box collider 2Ds for 2D games. Capsule colliders. You've got edge colliders. Got mesh colliders. Now what we need is the mesh collider, and the mesh collider will be able to stand on it. So that way we will be able to. Now this here has no mesh colliders on it. It's got no, but because it's a cube, you'll want a box collider. Now what that does now is it puts a collider around, or box collider around it, just to give it that solid sort of thing, so you can bump straight into it. And it's like a wall. It's like going for a wall or something, or not going for a wall, because you can't go for a wall because it's a solid object. Now this is basically what this is. Now it's amazing. Now if I wanted to say delete this, I'll go click on there. Now on the bottom it says cube, so you go there, cube, and you can delete that, and that's pretty much it, guys and girls, for this tutorial video. It's a long tutorial video, but let's have a look. So me go back up. Let's put my video capture on and take off my display. Anyway, guys and girls, if you've enjoyed this tutorial video for nearly 40 minutes long and you've kind of learned something from this, I've been learning still myself. I'm learning from, I've been learning from day one, 4, 5, 6 months going back when I started Unity. Now my Unity work is basically me learning to code next, start doing some hard work and grafting, and actually start working out how to use Unreal Engine as well, and get that working as well, because I'm doing Unity at the moment. Unity is fantastic, but Unreal Engine is probably where the graphics is, where you could actually put it to really good use. But I'm using at the moment, we've got 40 gigs of RAM in here, inside my iMac computer, and this is the iMac 2020 version, and it's amazing. But if you guys and girls have learned anything from this tutorial video, let us know in the comments below. Put a big thumbs up as well, guys and girls, and I'll see you on the next episode, guys and girls. Just a little bit of tutorials through today, but stay safe. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.